It's been a while since we've done a strategy Saturday video, but I believe today would be a good day to re-enliven or reinvigorate this series, and maybe we just continue to make a habit out of it on all the subsequent Saturdays. So let me know if you enjoy videos like this. If you don't, then just, I don't know, don't maybe dislike the video, who the hell knows, or let me know in the comment section actually as well. So other than that, I want to welcome you back to the Krown Crypto channel. This one is going to be focused on the HPDR tools, which you may or may not have. All of the tools that we use within this particular video will be in the link in the description below, namely the HPDR bundle, and then of course, and then I'm going to use the automation features as well, and you can automate this as well, but it's a separate thing. It's just a Krown Quant automation down there, but you don't need to necessarily do that. All right, sweet. Let's just jump right into it. First things first, I think it's best if I start off and show the back test over the past year of history for Bitcoin, or a little bit more than a year, as this goes from December 1st of 2022 to basically yesterday, December 15th of 2023. And for a strategy kind of right out of the box, I quite like this one. I have not gone through myself and done the full optimization suite that I typically like to do for my personal strategies, but it's a good base, and it's a good base that, I can work off of, and that you can maybe work off as well, as we'll go into the actual, the nitty gritty of exactly what the strategy does in a minute here. But I think it's good kind of get, just see like, is this even relevant to you? Do you like these numbers? Do you not? Fair enough. Maybe you don't, in which case you probably just turn off the video. But this one went over a total of 540 closed trades, again, within a year. So you're trading more than a day typically, although not every day it is trading. So some days there are more trades than others, obviously, naturally. Percent profitable, pretty damn high there. I just personally find that I like to see higher percent profitables, even though that does typically entail that my loss category, when I take a loss, it's going to be bigger relative to the wins. Just for whatever reason, my own psychology just seems to do better when I see a higher win rate like that, compared to one that's maybe like a little bit above 50% or even below 50%, but still has a good net profit. Just these are personal things, obviously. Profit factor, decent. Max drawdown versus net profit, also really like that one as well. And for me, this is pretty reasonable. Average amount of bars in trades, 23. Okay, fair enough. So let's go through the actual strategy. I've actually seen it fire off many times in the past. Actually, where am I right now? Oh yeah, we've seen it fire off many times in the past week. Although all these ones have been wins thus far, which always makes me a little bit on edge. Should it be winning that much? There we go. There's some nice losses. Let's see, 4 losses here. But ultimately, what exactly is this strategy? So for that, I'm going to bring you over to the strategy checklist over here, and we're just going to go through it one by one. And first things first, what time frame are we going to be focusing on? What was this all tested on? The 15-minute time frame. You can try this on other time frames as well. I suspect, however, you're going to have to change some of the settings here or there. Maybe it's good out of the box. I don't know. I haven't tried. That's something for you to do if you want to do that. But yeah, moving on now. What will be used for the main source of Edge? We're going to be using the HPDRO, so the oscillator. We're going to be using the HPDRV, volatility, and we're going to be using the PMARP. That's the only tools. Like, pretty damn simple here. I did want to make a note that for the HPDRO and the HPDRV, using a sample length of 7. So a little bit faster than default, and PMARP is default at 350 look back, 220 length, and VWMA as the MA type. Anyways, what defines a risk management parameter? We're going to be looking for a closure below the prior range low. You can use the Lux algo for this, or you can just use your own knowledge. If you have your own knowledge of how range lows works, that's going to be better than using the Lux algo. For the logic on this, I am not using the Lux algo. It is an in-house built one for the the skeleton key. Can't even say my words today, but yes. Anyways, in this case, we also have an emergency condition as well. Just if there's a wick below the prior trend lower low, so like very, very low, then out as well. So how will positions be entered? What actually constitutes an entry? So we need to see that the HPDRO is above -10. So if we go back into the charts here, get rid of this, bring up these, go to our HPDRO. It needs to be above -10. So it must be above this number here. Should I explain why? Well, sure, why not? Okay, so the reason why it should be above -10 is that we want to see HPDRO reads, and it's a moving average, by the way, as well. Did I make a note of that? Yes, I should have. Why did I not make a note of that? That's very embarrassing. I did on the other one. Okay, there we go. But the moving average needs to be above -10. So for the HPDRO, which represents directional volatility, the zero read, which is where my cursor is currently at right now, I'll just kind of circle it with a red, that represents complete neutrality. So if things are around there, directionless, or if things are even really in this whole range right here, it's probably directionless realistically. And so what I want to see is when the HPDRO is above -10 and also having a positive slope, which we'll get into in a second. But it needs to be, again, above this region with a positive slope on the moving average. If that's not present, no entry. Again, why do I allow for a little bit of negative right here? Well, that's just actually what turned out better in the back test, but I would theorize, is that even a word? I don't know. That a lot of the time you will see things kind of, oscillate in this very shallow region on both sides here. And it hasn't like, even though it's negative, it's not really like negative. It's just kind of like a reset. So I'd really even say the range between +10 to -10 is neutral, is directionless. It's not just zero. Like things can kind of stay around those regions for a little bit of time, and it hasn't really picked a direction, especially as we'll get to another condition, when volatility is low. It's just directionless. You're not going to signal. It's all fucking noise. That's what I'm trying to say. At least that's the theory behind it. So we'll get off that one. All right, and we'll go to the next one. PMARP must be below 60 percentile upon entry. So it must be below here. Otherwise, no entry. Then also, we need to see that the HPDRV moving average is negative or flat. So in that case, go over here. The moving average, again, represented by that white line. If it is negative, okay, good. Or if it's flat, also good. In this case, you can see it's very obviously negative the whole way down, or for most of it. And then we need to see the HPDRO, the one that we were just on, or priorly, not the last one, needs to be positive or flat, which we just spoke about. So it needs to be above -10 and also be positive or flat, alongside the other conditions all being present. If all those are present, we have an entry, which we actually just fired off one right here. Pretty skeptical about this one being a Saturday, but I guess we'll know by the end of the day, especially after how many wins in a row did we see? I know that this is a fallacy with stats, yes, blah, 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 but it is weird that it does seem to work out like that a lot. But yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins in a row. Not bad. Anyways, so yeah, in this case, again, all conditions are present very obviously below 60 on the PMARP. We see that HPDRO is above the -10 read, and it also has a positive slope on that one from the prior close to the current close, and HPDRV is going down the whole way, and certainly on that closure as well. So all conditions are met, an entry is fired off, and then, well, we wait. We wait for what? A signal to exit. So there's only two ways to exit this thing. Either the take profit gets hit or the risk management gets hit. What's the take profit? PMARP must be above 82 percentile. So in this case, 82 would be right here. So if it gets up there on closure, okay, out. Or if, again, risk management gets hit, which in this particular example would be where, I actually don't even have it listed on there, but range lows will be, for the 15-minute, are going to be down here. So if we see a closure below about 41,667, then that would also be an exit and a loss. So those are the two ways to get out of this one. And then, of course, I added some optimization considerations. You could say to only trade in the same alignment as a daily trend. So when the daily trend is up, turn this one on. Omit Thursday and Sunday. In fact, that is actually a critical point of this one. Just for whatever reason, on lower term timeframes, Thursday and Sunday does not like what's called long strategies. Don't know why, but that's just been the most bearish days for Bitcoin. I mean, we do know that Thursday, statistically speaking, is most likely to close down. The time zone, GMT -10, that's something that you also might play around with and optimize as well. And then, of course, those would be the main things as far as I look at And of course, there's other things that you can add to this as well. But generally, a pretty simple strategy here. Trades, I would say, quite frequently, and does pretty damn decent, especially when, the general market is to the upside. I did peruse through some of the prior results just to see, where was this one struggling? And it definitely did struggle when Bitcoin did enter into a daily downtrend. So I suspect that would be a good place to start if you are looking to optimize it and bring it over to something else. But ultimately, slow and smooth and steady is what we like on the equity curve, which is what we have right here. Like I said, you can take this for yourself. You can optimize it further, which I'm sure that you will. It's a good baseline for what it is right now. But as always, when we're dealing with these sort of tools, you should put your own spin on it because, well, if literally everyone was trading the same strategy, then it's not going to fucking work. But also, this is kind of out of the box. Like, I haven't fully optimized this myself, as I went over earlier. So I think maybe that's a good place for me to probably get off on this video. I'm going to get off on this video real good. Speaking of getting off, the tools used, again, the HPDR bundle has all of the HPDR tools. So there you go on that one. And then, of course, if you do want to put it into this format here with the strategy backtester and even automate it, then that would be the Krown Quant automation features over here. And you can put it together just as I'm showing in this particular demonstration. And that makes, tweaking things around and playing with them significantly easier. But yeah, there you go. That will do us for this Saturday. We'll come back at it on another Saturday, or next Saturday most likely, assuming that there's good, like you actually want to see this. And if you do want to see this more, let me know what type of strategies would you like to see, what time frame, and what direction. Like, do you want to see short strategies? Do you want to see 15-minute strategies? Do you want to see hourly strategies? Do you want to see these sort of things? Or do you want to see scalping strategies? Do you want to see training strategies? These sort of things, I do think would make for some good topics. So yeah, I'll leave it right there and I'll hand it over to you. With that said, take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.